Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another installment of Prog Talk. I am your host, Iron Mustache, and for episode 4, I want to do something a little slightly different, still related to prog music, but I decided this would be a great opportunity to basically go through something I've never done before personally, and please be easy on me. First time doing a video like this is basically I want to do a prog rock, prog metal Iceberg video. Now, of course, if you don't really get the concept of an Iceberg video, there's thousands upon thousands of them on YouTube, but here's a good basic analysis. Is an Iceberg video, you can literally make Iceberg's videos out of anything, and it's a very simple concept. The tip of the iceberg would essentially be stuff that is very well known, the tip of the iceberg, and then each layer kind of goes down to the bottom, and the bottom would be the super obscure, not a lot of people heard of, or maybe nobody's ever heard of, just mysterious to everybody. So that's kind of a basic concept of an Iceberg video. So without further ado, we'll just dive right into it, and of course, I will do my best explanation for every band in this Iceberg the best I can. I might not get everything correctly because there might be some bands I've never heard of, and I'm a huge prog fan. I mean, obviously, hey, I got a playlist on my channel. That's all I talk about is prog, and yeah. So without further ado, we'll get right into it, and here we go. So, Prog Rock, Episode 4. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you like what you see. And we'll get right into it. So, here we go. Episode 4 of Prog Talk with me, Iron Mustache. Here we go. So, just to begin, I came across this great Iceberg that would just be great for this video, and of course just going through prog pages on Reddit, and came across this particular one by this user here, and of course it would be proper for me to give the proper credit where it's deserved. So thank you to this Reddit user for giving us this perfect roadmap that I can use for this. And of course, if he comes across this video, he deserves the credit for making this excellent roadmap to a prog rock, prog metal Iceberg. So to begin, very, very simply, you have, let's start with literally the very tip top. And of course, I'll just piece by piece set them here, and then we'll go through all of them. Okay, so one of these bands, I can't know for sure that they're considered prog, but legendary band. I mean, come on. So we'll start off with Iron Maiden. I mean, honestly, I can't say that they're prog. I mean, definitely classic metal. But honestly, they're legendary. I mean, it's Iron Maiden. I mean, come on. I mean, Bruce Dickinson, come on. I mean, you cannot deny Bruce Dickinson is an absolute legend. And of course, some extremely big names that, anyone who's ever even heard the word prog would know a lot of these bands. Pink Floyd, of course, who these days doesn't know Pink Floyd? Everyone and their grandmother knows Pink Floyd. But my thing is, I will absolutely always love Pink Floyd. They're absolute, my thing is Dark Side of the Moon and the Wall, fantastic albums. But in my opinion, and shoot me down for my opinion, honestly, in my opinion, some of the best Floyd albums, I mean, me personally, crap on me all you want of this. Yeah, Dark Side of the Moon to the Wall, great albums, without a doubt. But I think some of their best work is their lesser appreciated work. I'm talking like Animals, Wish You Were Here, Atom Heart Mother, Saucer Full of Secrets. Those are some, me personally, I mean, hey, I love Dark Side of the Moon and the Wall. I think they're both great albums, but I think their lesser appreciated albums are, for me, are some of Pink Floyd's best work. Of course, that's just opinion, so yeah, you can crap on me all you want. And of course, continuing on with this Iceberg, the tip, part 1. Of course, who would not even consider Yes? Yes is the name of the band. Listen to the keyboard solo on Roundabout. Yeah, I mean, Yes is one of the biggest names in prog. I mean, who doesn't know about Yes these days? I mean, not even just put in consideration that, you know, Roundabout was one of their biggest songs, you know, or, you know, Owner of a Lonely Heart, you know, but for me, I think some of my top favorite, just again, opinion, my top favorite works ever done by Yes. Basically, the entire album of Close to the Edge. It's their 3-track album, but these super long songs, and just amazing. From start to finish, absolutely amazing album. Also, one album I don't think a lot of people really appreciate, but I do. Tales from Topographic Oceans. Absolutely amazing album. Relayer. Yeah, absolutely a great album. Tornado. I mean, there are so many, like, honestly, in my opinion, I don't think I've ever listened to a Yes album. I'm like, not a big fan. But Fragile, absolute great album. I mean, from start to finish, absolutely amazing album. But, you know, some of the more obscure Yes albums, like, yeah, it's Close to the Edge, or even Tales of Topographic Oceans, some of the best work done by Yes. And, of course, there's been a lot of lineup changes over the years with Yes. And I think the hardest career lineup change for me was after the passing of Chris Squire. I mean, honestly, Chris Squire, one of the most legendary prog rock bass guitar players of all time. I mean, he is in a league of like Geddy Lee and Tony Levin. It just some of the greatest prog rock like bass players. He is up there with those guys. And yeah, Chris Squire, 100%, you know, and Our Hearts and Minds Forever, was an absolute legendary bass player. I mean, that dude, every time I hear Chris Squire's playing, I'm listening. Yes, I'm like, oh, wow. And Chris Squire was literally legendary. Okay, so anyway, continuing on. This one's kind of a two-sided one because, you know, of course, it had two separate frontmen for this band, but both of them, in my opinion, legendary. Genesis. Now, of course, you had the early days of Genesis where it was very like prog rock jam band. When you had Peter Gabriel, the absolute god of prog. I mean, I don't care what anyone says. Like, Peter Gabriel, 100% was a prog god. I mean, come on. This guy was the embodiment of all godly status of like prog rock singers. Even in his own solo career, yeah, still considered an absolute prog legend. And, you know, starting off with like the super early days of Genesis with their very first album, you know, from Genesis to Revelation. And, you know, of course, some of my personal absolute favorite Genesis albums from those early days, you can't go wrong with Nursery Crimes. Absolute start to finish amazing album. Foxtrot, The Lamb Lays Down on Broadway, absolute, this legendary Peter Gabriel era Genesis. And, you know, after Peter Gabriel left and started his own solo career, still kept that legendary status as a solo artist. But then that's where you got Phil Collins. Now, Phil Collins has always been in Genesis. I mean, there is no doubt that some people may choose Gabriel over Collins or Collins over Gabriel. But the thing is people don't really kind of put in consideration that Phil Collins, before actually being full-on singing for Genesis, and Phil Collins eventually having his own solo career, Phil Collins was an absolute amazing drummer. When he played the early days just as a drummer, dude, blows my mind how amazing Phil Collins was as a singer. And honestly, I think that Phil Collins was an excellent singer too. I mean, Land of Confusion, he's had some absolute amazing songs when he took over the singing for Genesis, and honestly, amazing solo career. You cannot go wrong with a lot of great hits in Phil Collins' solo career. In the Air Tonight, what was that song? I'm trying to think. Another Day in Paradise. I mean, yeah, Phil Collins, I'm really happy that he had an amazing career. He's getting up there in age, so he decided, I'm going to retire. All the respect and love to Phil Collins, because from these early days of Genesis, being one of the most amazing drummers, to being a pretty damn good singer for Genesis and having an excellent solo career. All the respect and love to Phil Collins, and I really hope that Phil Collins can enjoy his retirement and be happy. And I would really hope he does, because he was absolutely a legend, without a doubt. Absolute legend. All right, so now this one is pretty obvious, and I mean, people who know me very well know this one's very obvious. The greatest band of all time. And it could be greatest band from Canada, greatest band in the world. Come on. Take a guess. I'll give you a little time. Just look for clues. Just, look for, any clues? Any clues? Yes, of course, we're talking about Rush, the greatest power trio to have ever donned the earth. Now, I can literally sit here and this video can go on for like hours and days, and where I'm just going to sit here and talk about the absolute legend of Rush. I mean, that would take up a lot of time, but we'll make it brief. What makes Rush so legendary? I don't know. Have you not tried listening to Rush once in a while and be like, oh, wait, there's 3 guys in this band, but why does it sound like 5 guys? They decided that 5 guys would just be kind of a copyright infringement of a burger place, so they decided to go with 3. So, a little bit about Rush and what makes them so legendary. So, in a little town called Willowdale, Ontario, Canada, up there in Toronto area, came these 3 little guys from Canada. Bass player and lead singer and keyboardist Geddy Lee, guitarist Alex Lyson, and the in the very early days, it was John Rutsey. Then John Rutsey really didn't have much interest to continue making drumming a career, plus he had a plethora of health problems, but that's where they got the absolute drumming legend to Professor Mr. Neil Elwood Peart. And yeah, no, I'm saying Peart. It's not Pert, it's Peart. Okay, so anyway, these 3 guys from Canada, in the early days, probably not as big, but they became one of the biggest, most influential names in music history. I mean, yeah, these guys were like the Canadian Beatles almost, if you can think of it that way. I don't think there's ever been any band in history that has been referenced in pop culture than any other band. I mean, look at it. They've been referenced in episodes of Family Guy. There's references of them in the movie I Love You, Man, and Fanboys. There are so many pop culture references to Rush and their absolute legendary status. And, a lot of people, when they start off listening to Rush, you start off with Moving Pictures or 2112. But me, personally, one of the greatest, in my opinion, again, some of their best albums they've ever done. And hey, I love 2112 and I love Moving Pictures. Absolute amazing albums. But for me, Hemispheres is one of their proggiest albums they've ever done. And at the time when the album came out, people hated this one, but it has gained legendary status of the fan base over the years. Crest of Steel. It did not go off very well in their career. It's pretty much, when they released Crest of Steel, a lot of people were like, ugh. It pretty much was the one album that almost completely ended their career. Their record producers were like, hey, we get what guys are trying to go for here with these really long, outdrawn songs, but this album ain't doing good. You guys are not selling any tickets to your shows anymore. Yeah, this long song stuff, it's just got to go. So either you guys fix the problem or we're just going to have to drop you from the label. So what do? They just say, you know what? If this is going to be our last hurrah as a band together, let's make it a last hurrah. That following year, maybe a couple years later, they came out with one of the best well-known albums in their career, 2112. That first track being over 20 minutes long, and their managers, record producers, like, oh God, I thought we told you guys don't do this. And then after they saw how their record sales skyrocketed, they're like, yeah, no, I think we kind of misspoke there. Yeah, you guys can just do whatever you want. It's totally cool. Just do what you want. Totally cool. Just we'll leave you alone. So yeah, Crest of Steel nearly could have ended Rush's career, but they kept going for over 40 years until their retirement, and the unfortunate and still breaks my heart to this day passing of Neil Peart. Still to this day, Neil Peart will always be a legend, and he was not nicknamed the Professor for nothing. I mean, he was your favorite drummer. Okay, so that's probably a little bit too long. I'm talking about just one particular band, but come on, I love Rush. Okay, anyway, the next one on the first layer of this iceberg would be, well, yeah, most people heard of this band. I personally love them, and I don't want to be considered that like the weird part of the fan base, but Tool. And no, I'm not going to go into, this is all going to be about how Lateralis is all about the Fibonacci sequence and how that works out. No. We're just going to make it basic too. You know, Tool is kind of like a band that you can love or hate. You know, personally, I love Tool. I think that over the years they've had a great sound. You know, even in their early days with Undertow and, you know, Fear Inoculum, I honestly just feel like they've had a lot of really great songs. But where I'm going to give a lot of credit, Danny Carey. I mean, come on, Danny Carey is just, he is like an octopus on the drums. I mean, the guy, the polyrhythms and everything that Danny Carey does on the drums, it's like that guy, he's he's just an octopus. Like, holy crap, yeah. Danny Carey is an absolute octopus. And I'm going to say some of the best bass riffs that I have ever heard from any bass player when it comes to bands that, you know, kind of came out in the 90s era and still around today. Justin Chancellor, man. I mean, that dude, it's like he's absolutely amazing bass player. I am going to give Justin Chancellor so much credit for his bass playing because, I mean, come on. That guy really, he plays the bass extremely well. And I think that's where he get, you know, that band at least get the credit for their musicianship is absolutely amazing. And yeah, there's a lot of Tool songs that kind of evolve around like occult stuff and all that, and a lot of their albums are just full of eyeballs. But hey, I'm not gonna smash on them for that. You know, it's eyeballs and occult stuff. But it's musicianship, and you know, there are just a lot of songs in their career just like you're trying to sit there like, what is Maynard James Keenan trying to, like, tell us in this song? That's not mathematical and just makes us go, wait, hold on, bro. Bro, is this guy talking about the Fibonacci sequence song? Are you sure about that? No, listen. Back and see. 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. Oh, look at this. If you were to actually like look at the okay, but now, yeah. So of course, there's so many people know Tool. It's definitely a band that you love or hate. Personally, I like them. They got some really excellent songs in their career. All right, so we'll go to another great one from across the pond, or not a little past across the pond, and our lovely European neighbors in France, Gojira. Man, there's so much I can say about Gojira because absolute legendary band. Early days. I think that they've always just kept that legendary status as one of the biggest names of metal to come out of France. And yeah, they're absolute environmentalists, and hey, I respect that. They've like to keep things private, but everything from Magma and Mars is Sirius to like everything through their newest album, like absolute, they have, I cannot say, I don't think they've ever made a bad album. Everything they ever done over their careers has gotten better, and they've just gotten more amazing over the years, and they definitely deserve the recognition that they deserve. All right, so this will be literally the very first part of this Iceberg, and now we're gonna go a little bit lower. So here we go. Get ready for the second layer of the iceberg. So here we go. All right, so here we are with the second layer of this let me adjust my hat there a little bit. Ever so great and fantastic. Darn it. My head's being crooked. Whatever. The second layer of this iceberg video. And of course, as we go deeper, it's going to get way more, way more obscure. Even me, I'm going to have to do some research on some of these bands. So here we go. Layer 2. Carry on, my wayward son. Yes, Kansas. I mean, absolute, like, Kansas. You can't say you hate Kansas. I mean, there's some absolute legendary songs in Kansas' career. Like Carry On Wayward Son. I mean, who does not know that song these days? Like, I remember quite a few years back, I went to doesn't exist anymore, the Gibson Amphitheater that used to be, Harry Potter World stands there now at Universal Hollywood, but there was a concert venue, the Gibson Amphitheater. I've seen Rush there twice, and I've actually had the opportunity to see Foreigner 6 in Kansas do a show together, and oh my gosh, it was amazing. Like, yeah, Foreigner playing absolute classics, Styx playing absolute classics, and then Kansas comes in, and I was sitting there like, oh, are they going to do it? Yeah, and their encore song, Carry On Wayward Son, it was like, yes, and of course, absolute banger of a Kansas song, Dust in the Wind. I mean, they honestly have done so much in their career, that absolute amazing stuff. And of course, I not too long ago listened to their latest album, and I was like, yeah, no, it's Kansas. I mean, Kansas can do no wrong. Like, literally, what wrong has Kansas ever done? What wrong have they ever done? None. So shut up. Okay, so anyway. Another, I don't know if this one is, progressive, but come on. Absolute legend of a band. And I've actually, in a TikTok video that I've done in the past, I actually kind of briefly talked about this particular band. Deep Purple. Deep Purple. Now, people would be like, oh yeah, Smoke on the Water, and Highway Star, but I'm talking about that, like, super legendary Deep Purple status. I mean, Perfect Strangers. I mean, come on. If you have one legendary band do a song like Perfect Strangers and then have another extremely legendary band, Dream Theater, cover said song, honestly, it's like, I think that James LaBrie in Dream Theater did that song so much justice. It's really hard to pull off a cover song, because if you're going to do a cover song, you got to do it right. And I think that the way that Deep Purple covers Perfect Strangers by Deep Purple, it's like, yeah, they did that song justice. And that's basically like, yeah, absolutely. Dream Theater is up in that legendary status these days, and Deep Purple's in that legendary status too. They're like in the hemisphere of legendary status. Okay, so anyway. Now, another one I can't say is necessarily prog. I don't know too much about this band, so like I said, there might be bands I'm not too familiar with or know too much about. I might have heard a song here and there, but can't really know for sure. Talking Heads. Now, this one I really can't say I know too much about. I mean, I only know bits and pieces kind of what Talking Heads, kind of entails. And, so this one is kind of like one of those ones that's just like, yeah, I would have to like kind of listen to them myself and be like, oh, okay, not bad. So this one is kind of like one of those, well, yeah, I don't know too much about this one. So this one is, I will take it at face value and say, okay. All right, so for the next one, of course, I'm still jealous about this band, and particularly the guitarist of this band, okay? Tim Henson, the lead guitarist of Polyphia. Oh my gosh, this kid just makes me jealous every day. I am 34 years old, and yeah, I dabble in guitar a little bit. I'm not great, I just play for fun. I don't play in a band or anything. I just do it for fun. But oh my god, Tim Henson, he's in his 20s. God, this is why this kid makes me jealous. He is amazing. His style, his tone, his guitar, it's just everything he does. It's like, bro, if I was 10 years younger, or even younger than that, and actually took the time to actually practice day in and day out, yeah, I would be a pretty darn guitar player. So I just, I play for fun. I don't play professionally. But god damn, Tim Henson just makes me so jealous. He's gotten all that time to practice, while I just basically sat on my ass all day and done nothing. But yeah, Tim Henson, absolute legend. And Polyphia, oh my gosh, there's so many great like Polyphia songs and Polyphia album. Like I've never once ever heard anything bad come out of Polyphia, and especially their latest song with basically Tim Henson doing more of an acoustic style thing. It still sounds amazing. It's Polyphia, it's Tim Henson. Mind blowing. Okay, so anyway, 3 lullabies and an ancient tongue. And the court of the, yes, King Crimson, that's what we're going for. Oh my gosh, there's so much you can say about King Crimson. And just that very first album, in the court of Crimson King, when basically Cole Plummer was the original lead singer, and of course they had career change over the years. But I think that like everyone knows about it in the court of the Crimson King, but does anyone ever consider their albums like Bible Black and Starless Nights, or Red, or Larksong and Aspect, or Discipline, or Three of a Perfect Pair? I mean, there is this. I can go on forever of how many great, amazing things and albums and songs in King Crimson done. I mean, like Tony Levin, absolute like legendary. bass player. Yeah, he's going to go up there on the list of Chris Squire, Geddy Lee, Tony Levin. He definitely belongs up there. I mean, I've been trying to figure out like the stick he plays when he, of course, Tony Levin, he's done other bands like Liquid Tension Experiment and Stickman in his own solo career, but that crazy stick thing, like how does that even work? I could not even figure out how the heck he can play that because, I mean, come on, Tony Levin, he's an absolute legend. And Robert Fripp, I mean, what cannot be said about Robert Fripp? Absolute, a legendary guitar player. Robert Fripp, oh, yeah, Robert Fripp. I mean, oh, love me some Robert Fripp, absolutely. Okay, so this one, I can definitely consider some kind of prog or just really funky music. And I've actually seen this band in concert a while back, and oh gosh, everything they come up with since the early days of their career, even to this day, everything they do is just absolute, like mind-blowing. Primus.
Hey, people, want to live on my territory. You want to live with me?
Yes. Primus. I mean, another absolutely amazing three-piece band. And I see them in concert, and oh my gosh, they are amazing live and on album. I mean, I saw them on their Green Naugahyde tour, and oh my god, it's fucking Primus. And of course, lead singer Les Claypool of Primus, he's had so many solo projects. I mean, Colonel Claypool's Buckled Bernie Brains, Little Frog Brigade, Oysterhead. He's even in collaborations with Sean Lennon, the son of the long deceased legendary John Lennon. He's Holy Mackerel. I mean, God, Les Claypool. When I say Primus is super funky, it's for one, Les Claypool's playing style. Like, who in the world is doing this shit with a bass guitar? He's got these crazy basses, 6-string basses, fretless basses, anything that just makes it sound totally insane. And he's got this weird cello thing that, if you look into listening to the song Mr. Crinkle on the Pork Soda album, hello, Mr. Crinkle, how are you today? I mean, and when it comes to the lyrics too, are just like, hold on. My main is Mud, Frizzle Fry. I mean, there's so many songs in Primus's career that just, oh gosh, you're just sitting there like trying to think like, what are they talking about over the electric grapevine? What the fuck? But honestly, Les Claypool, and they've had a lot of career lineup changes over the years, but they have kept that legendary status, and it's been a funky, crazy thing because it's Primus. Now, if you really want to see how really funky that Primus can get, just listen to all the Primus albums, and you'll be like, holy moly, yeah, these guys are funky as. Anyway, we'll continue on here. And here we go. So, yes. Now, this band, it's like, probably a lot of people would say that, bro, how could you, want to play flute in a band and make it rock and roll? Yeah. So, tell that to Ian Anderson of Jethro Tull. He would laugh his ass off at you. He'd be like, excuse me, what? You don't think that flutes can be fucking rock and roll, dude? Yeah, you'd be wrong. And yeah, Jethro Tull. Everything they've done from Aqualung to Thick as a Brick to, Songs from the Forest. I mean, has Ian Anderson and Jethro Tull ever did a bad song? No. And people want to be simps and be like, yeah, well, you can't put flutes in rock and roll. Jethro Tull did there, bud, and they're one of the most legendary prog rock bands of all time, so get out of here. Okay, yeah, Absolutely love Jethro Tull. Absolute legendary band. I mean, it's Jethro Tull. Yeah, no. Anyway, this is one I don't know anything about. KGLW. I personally don't think I know that one. Or does it stand for something? Or, KGLW. Well, I don't know too much about that one. I have to look into that one at a later time in life. But anyway, we'll continue on to, of course, talking about Deep Purple. And we get to one of the biggest names in prog metal, Dream Theater. People would think well, James LaBrie's not that great of a singer, so I don't really see how Dream Theater could be that legendary status. Excuse me, but John Petrucci, John Minyoung, Mike Portnoy, Jordan Rudess. I mean, even if you didn't have James LaBrie, they would. With James LaBrie, well, without, it doesn't matter. It's Dream Theater, and they're always gonna have that legendary status. It's Dream Theater. I mean, come on. Do I even know? You have to go on about this of how, no one will ever play like John Petrucci. Only John Petrucci is going to play guitar like John Petrucci. No one would be able to slap a bass better than John Minyoung. I mean, come on. Only John Minyoung is going to be able to slap a bass better than John Minyoung. I can go on forever and just say, yeah, when some say that, James Louis is not a great singer, so I don't really see how Dream Theater is legendary. Just listen to Octavarium or darn it. Metropolis Part 2, Scenes of a Memory. Even Images of Words, their early stuff, it doesn't matter. Just go out there, listen to Dream Theater, and tell me that's some of the greatest fucking guitar playing you've ever fucking heard in your life. It's John fucking Petrucci, people. He's literally prog metal Jesus. I mean, come on. When that John Petrucci playing guitar, he's got these fucking cannon arms, and I feel really bad for his guitarists because they're just looking at John Petrucci like, oh, fuck. That dude's got cannon arms. I mean, yeah, he's prog rock Jesus. And it's not just the long hair and the beard that he has, but no, he's quite literally prog rock Jesus. Jesus actually did walk the earth. But yeah, he didn't go by the name Jesus Christ. He went by the name John Petrucci. Anyway, okay. So moving on. Here we go. Blank face in a window pane. Yes, Opeth. Right there on my arm. Opeth, yes. They're one of the most legendary fucking bands of prog metal to come out of the ever so wondrous country of Sweden. And of course, with, Opeth, you have the ever so legendary Mikhail Ackerfield. Is it Michael Ackerfield or Mikhail? I always say Mikhail Ackerfield. It just sounds kind of more proper, but it's Michael Ackerfield, then that's cool. But Michael Ackerfield, man, not only just being the lead singer of Opeth, but all of his career doing tons of collaborations with Steven fucking Wilson. I mean, literally, if there were two dudes, a British dude and a Swedish dude, were total absolute bros, yeah, total bromance shit, if you were to make a very prog, centered, kind of version of the movie I Love You Man, yeah, Mikhail Ackerfeld and Steven Wilson would be basically the character stand-ins for Jason Segel and Paul Rudd. I mean, seriously, those guys were their collaborations with each other over their careers, and come on, it's Mikhail Ackerfield, it's Opeth, it's Steven Wilson. I mean, come on, they were a prog couple match in heaven. Honestly, yeah, just absolute bromance going on there, and it's awesome. I mean, when they collaborate together, it's fucking amazing. I cannot lie about that. All right. Anyway, yeah, kind of relation to King Crimson because of the P in this one. ELP, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Oh boy, this is another one I can go on for hours about because Emerson, Lake and Palmer, absolute legend of the band. Unfortunately, Keith Emerson and Greg Lake are no longer with us, but Carl Palmer is doing his best to keep the tradition of ELP going. I mean, come on. Have you seen the insanity that is Keith Emerson on the keyboards? I mean, he's got it on stage, how this giant stack of all these wires and stuff, and, you know, to play the keyboards, and it's just like, hey, Keith, do you need a ladder to get up there? I mean, Keith Emerson would be playing so crazy on the keyboards, fucking keyboard just falls on top of him, and he's just like still playing, like, holy fuck. Yeah, Keith Emerson, absolute amazing keyboard player. He's up there on the most legendary prog keyboardists of all time. I mean, come on, fucking Keith Emerson. Do I even need to explain that anymore? But anyway, ELP. And, you know, of course, they've had nothing but excellent songs in their career. I mean, listen to the entirety of Brain Salad Surgery. Holy moly. But honestly, the greatest album, me personally, in their career, Tarkus. It's, you look at the album cover, it's like, what the heck? Is that an armadillo tank? It's like, yeah, Tarkus. I mean, I don't even know what the hell that is, but that album, holy fuck, that album is absolutely legendary. And yeah, I mean, Lucky Man, I mean, come on, that's an absolute, but oh my gosh, if there was one song, if I'm not mistaken, from the album Trilogy, one song you can never go wrong with because the guitar playing is just amazing. Oh my gosh, I mean, how could you not like say this is one of the greatest ELP songs in their career was in the from the beginning. I mean, come on, that guitar playing is just holy. Hold on one second. So, yeah, I got a guitar here. Probably not going to be the best playing. I'll do the best I can just to give you the kind of a brief example of how amazing this song really was. And let's see here. Okay, it's better. Well, you get the idea. I mean, is that perfect? No, but hey, I do the best I can. I'm no legendary, amazing guitar player. But anyway, we'll continue this off in just a second. All right, to continue. Okay. Oh, yes, Alan Parsons. Now, I've only listened to a little bit of Alan Parsons, or Alan Parsons Project, however you want to put it. But yeah, no, Alan Parsons is a huge name in classic prog, so I don't know too much about Alan Parsons. And like I said, there's going to be some things that I definitely have listened to, but I don't know too much about this one. But yes, Alan Parsons, yeah, definitely should be on this Iceberg. Makes total sense. Alan Parsons is pretty proggy as fuck. So, to continue. Okay, so this one, well, I wouldn't say progressive rock or progressive metal, but do they fit in any progressive category? Yes, I'd say they would. Progressive pop, yes, I know. It's crazy. That's an actual thing. But ELO. Yeah, Mr. Brightside. The Electric Light Orchestra. So, yeah, they're progressive. Not progressive rock per se. I mean, yeah, definitely prog pop. I mean, yeah, that's apparently, yeah, that is definitely a subcategory in the prog umbrella. Like, yeah, ELO, I mean, Mr. Brightside, you know, yeah, no, I would say ELO definitely would be one of those pretty proggy bands that would be like, yeah, no, I would, yeah, I mean, they're not prog rock, prog pop, but hey, they deserve to be on this iceberg, so, yep, I would say some pretty accurate stuff on this one. All right. I think this one, it would be like, people really only know about this one because of a very certain Netflix show, and this song has been absolutely blowing up because of this particular Netflix show. But we're going to talk about here Kate Bush. Yeah, you know, everybody knows the song now, Running Up That Hill, and, you know, Make It Dealing with God, and yeah, but she's like been like one of the biggest names when it comes to female singers to ever dawn in the category of prog. And, you know, she's done a song with Peter Gabriel, and it's an absolute amazing song, and it's a beautiful song that, you know, they did together on Peter Gabriel's So album. Oh my gosh, it's just, yeah, she goes beyond this you know, her song blowing up because of this certain Netflix show. I mean, she's always been super legendary status. She's like one of the biggest names, female names in prog history. Kate Bush, I mean, she deserves all the credit that she deserves. She is an absolute amazing voice, one of the biggest female names in prog. So yes, Kate Bush, does she belong in here? Yes, she's kept that legendary status over the years. That don't matter if now she's getting super famous because of a certain show on Netflix. No, she's always held that legendary status since the beginning of her career and even to this day. She's just absolute. It's Kate Bush. She's an absolute legend. I mean, come on. I don't even need to go on about this one. Okay. Yes. Oh, boy, this one's a good one. Okay. So, for the next one, we're going just gent, and we're gonna... Yes, Meshuggah. I mean, come on, it's fucking Meshuggah. Like, it's Jens Kidman. Come on, people. Do I even need to go on about why Meshuggah would be here? It's Meshuggah. Come on, people. It is Meshuggah. Jens Kidman. I mean, come on. Everything from Obscene to their latest album, everything from like even the super early days to like the, you know, nowadays. I mean, come on, has Meshuggah ever done anything bad? Let me think about this. Hold on, I'm trying to think. Jeez. Well, this might take me some time to think. No, they've never fucking did. It's fucking Meshuggah. I mean, they're basically that band where the word gent even originated. I mean, was it Meshuggah that invented the word gent, or was it Meshuggah fans? Hey, I don't even know. But it's goddamn fucking Meshuggah. So, yes, Meshuggah. Yes, 100%. Okay. That's another one I don't think I've personally never heard of. Renaissance. Like, is it like a Renaissance prog rock band? Because that sounds fucking awesome. You go to like a Renaissance fair, and then there's a fucking like Renaissance style fucking prog band. Oh, that'd be fucking awesome. But anyway, I don't know too much about that one. So we are now going to go down into the next layer. So here we go. Let's get down to layer number 3, and we're getting deeper in there. Alrighty, hello and welcome to the 4th layer. and a outfit change, because this particular video is taking quite a very long time to put together. So anyway, the fourth layer in a prog rock, prog metal, Iceberg. Okay, so yeah, I'm looking at the fourth layer here right now on this lovely roadmap of icebergs to prog rock, prog metal, and well, there's quite a few in here I'm not too sure about, but yeah, we'll just go through it. Okay, so let's see. Okay, egg. I like eggs, but I don't think I've ever heard of Egg, unfortunately. Maybe I should listen to them sometime. So a lot of these bands on this one I haven't heard of. I would definitely be like, yeah, no, I think I will definitely listen to them. Corner, another one I'm not too sure about. So we'll skip over that one. Another band I will probably listen to one day. But I do know this one a little bit. The Graaff Generator. Yeah, no, I think they're pretty darn good band. I mean, they're classic prog rock, classic early days and all that. And a Graaff Generator is this random machine, but nope, it's an enablement band too. I can't remember any of their albums offhand, but I've listened to a few of their songs and I'm like, no, I like that classic stuff, man. That classic stuff, always good. Oh boy, this one is a good one actually. This is like one of those super wacky, just I personally can't even fathom this band. Magma, holy moly, Magma is just all kinds of wacky. So I think like MAGA, you take a bunch of dudes in a band, and I'm pretty sure they've had tons of lineup changes over the years. And if I'm not mistaken, they're French, right? But their title of their songs, it's like they're not written in French, they're written some weird, crazy language, and I'm like, huh? It's really weird. Like Magma, like they're pretty sure they're French, but the song titles are just nonsensical. They're not written in French or anything. They're just completely crazy. I don't know. It's all kinds of crazy. Okay. Yeah, Magma. Oh, I can get down with some Magma. They got some really good stuff. It's just really wacky and out there, but it's good. No doubt. It's really good. Oh, new. Like N-E-U, not N-E-W. No, I don't know that one very well. But this one, Richelieu, I guess. Richelieu is actually really good. I do like me some Richelieu. They have some really good stuff. They're like more modern prog rock, modern prog metal, and to me, yeah, they're pretty fucking fun. This one can kind of fit under the category of like prog metal, very technical, like kind of they're very technical. Dillinger Escape Plan, they're fucking amazing. Holy shit! Like it's very technical, and me, I love me some fucking Dillinger Escape Plan. Yeah, it's super hard, super heavy, super fast, and super fun. So yeah, Dillinger Escape Plan, yes, absolutely, 100%. I do listen to Dillinger, or DEP for short. Love them. They're amazing. Can I go to the mall later is what I'm asking. I can. Okay, so Can. Yeah, I can't say I know too much about Can, and what can we do? Well, what can I not do is figure out what the heck Can is. Another band I'll probably look up and be like, oh, yes. Okay, sounds good. Oh, okay, this one actually is really good. They started off like, they kind of changed their sound over the years, but they're, prog metal as hell to me. Voivod, yeah, they've been around for quite a while now, and, I think they probably started like a kind of like a death metal and thrash metal, kind of thing, and kind of progressed their sound over the years, and no, straight up, Voivod is fucking awesome. Like, holy shit, they've been around for quite a long time now. Not a long time, but they've been around for a little bit, and no, I would say, yeah, no. Voivod. Yes. Okay. Ooh, no, this one actually is really good. They're definitely like a more newer prog rock band. But what I really like about this band, Wobbler, is they're like a newer prog rock band, but they have a very classic sound, and that's what I love about it. It's like it's modern prog rock, but it's like classic tone, and it just has a classic feel to it. You know, you don't really see that nowadays with a lot of like newer prog metal bands. But Wobbler, it's really cool. Is like they give themselves almost like the classic '70s sound, and you know, sometimes the classic Cadbury scene sound, and that's what's really awesome. Is like, yeah, newer, but newer classic. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, ooh, actually, this one's good. I don't know if I consider this one prog rock, but they're kind of in a league with Primus. Anyway, Mr. Bungle. Oh yeah, I mean, from their first album, you know, who basically had the singer. I don't remember his name, but he left and went to go start Faith No More. I love that first album. I mean, they even after that first album, they got a new singer. They still stayed relevant for me. Yeah, they got some excellent songs over the years, and it's Mr. Bungle, and I'm assuming that Mr. Bungle, according to the first album, is some drunk homeless clown, because that's what was on the first cover, was a drunk homeless looking clown that might have been dead. But no, that all of Mr. Bungle that I've heard is just like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, this shit's fucking awesome. Okay. Oh, that's a Tricot. Is that like, it's like it's a cot, but it's like 3 cots in one. It's like this big old cot. So it's like I don't know, no idea. That would be another band I would have to try out sometime and see if that they might actually be pretty good. Oh boy, there's a lot of bands here I have not too sure of. Some of them I do know. This one I've heard of, but I've never actually listened to them. Gong. Whoosh. Imagine if I actually had a gong right here and it was like whoosh. Oh wait, hold on. 1 second. Hold on, let me try this. Yeah, okay, so there. Got a gong. Okay, sweet. Awesome. Anyway, there's another band I've listened a little bit. I don't know too much about them, but I've heard some stuff from them, and I was like, no, I think it's pretty good. I'm going to slaughter this name. I'm not really good at the Greek pronunciation of things. Aphrodite's Child? I might have completely slaughtered that. Aphrodite's Child. I've heard some good stuff from them, and I enjoyed it very much. Very classic. They're like early day kind of stuff, and no, I say they're pretty darn good. I don't know too much about them. I've listened to them only a little bit, but I did enjoy the stuff that I heard, so cannot complain about Aphrodite's Child, or however you want to say it. Oh, here another one I don't know too much about, but Chick Corea. Well, I would say that would be another one. Not missing all these bands on this list, like, oh, I gotta listen to these now, see how they sound. So Chick Corea, I can't say anything about that because I don't know too much. Man, there's a lot of them. I just Utopia. Yeah, we live in a utopia. No, we don't. We live in a dystopian society now. Anyway, Utopia. I don't know too much about that one per se, because, well, that's another one I'm going to have to try out for myself. Okay. Actually, this is what I do know, and I actually very much like this band. I think they're really, really good. Anything I've listened from Fate's Warning was just like, yeah, this is good, really good prog metal. And yeah, no, Fate's Warning's got some really, 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 really good stuff. I cannot go wrong with Fate's Warning. They're like kind of like in the league of like Dream Theater and like Symphony X and King's X, or Symphony X and King's X, and they're in a league up there. Queensreich, they're like in that hemisphere of like early 80s, 90s kind of prog metal. The good stuff, the good days. Pertucci. Okay. Oh, actually, no. This is a good band. And what really sucks is one of their main members of this band just not too long ago passed away. It was a big blow for me because this band's really good. Big Train. It is a big train, and big train's got a big sound, and they got big prog just written all over it. Big. It's not just a big train. It's a big. It's ginormous. It's like you don't want to get stuck behind this train. You probably would never be able to get to work on time. But anyway, yeah, big train. Yeah, they've had some really good stuff in their catalog, and I love me some big train. All right, so I am going to get ready for the fifth layer. So sit back, relax, and we'll get right to the fifth layer right about in a second. Hello.
And welcome to the fifth layer.
Okay, so layer number 5. Okay, so it's surprising. I actually know quite a few artists on layer number 5. So first one is definitely a good one, and yeah, I think it's like a really cool story. So yes, Caligulous Horse. Emperor Caligula had a horse, and he turned that horse into the Roman lead council, and then at one point he was a Roman priest because Emperor Caligula was a psychopath. Alright, so the really funny thing about Caligula's Horse, and this is actually super duper true. So I have a Caligula's Horse shirt. I mean, people who have watched previous videos on my channel would see that, yeah, this is like it's Caligula's Horse shirt. So on my Instagram one day, and I'll put like a link to my Instagram if you're interested in checking that one out. Because I post a lot of prog rock, prog metal stuff. So I posted a picture when I did get my Caligula's Horse shirt on my Instagram, and yeah, Jim Gray, the lead singer of Caligula's Horse, and Sam Ballin, the guitarist of Caligula's Horse, liked that post. I was like, wait, what? I was like looking through my likes on this picture, and I'm like, Jim Gray, wait, official with the blue check mark, and I clicked on it, I'm like, oh fuck. Yeah, the Jim Gray, the lead singer, the Sam Ballin, the guitarist of Caligula's Horse, both of them liked that post. I was like, holy bruh. Yeah, it was like one of the, it turned me into a giddy little girl, because I really like Caligula's Horse. I mean, come on, Marigold, Slow Violence, like, come on, has Caligula's Horse ever done anything wrong? No, they can't. Those dudes are Australian. The only thing, the only kind of things that could go wrong in Australia is those crazy ass giant spiders that are like bigger than this whole room I'm in right now. Like, holy crap! Like, yeah, no, Australia could do no wrong, and you know why you can't do wrong?
You ever heard of a guy named Steve motherfucking Irwin? He was the embodiment of all that was good and holy, because we all love Steve Irwin, unless you work for PETA and nobody likes you.
So anyway, let's see. Let's go down this list now. Bungle. Bungle. Oh, that reminds me. I need to go to the Bongo to make a withdrawal but make a deposit. Or no, I don't know much about that one, Bonko. But hey, maybe I should listen to that one too, because that seems like something that I would definitely do. Oh boy. Okay. Sega. Oh no, sorry. Saga. Don't know too much about that one, unfortunately, but put that on the list of stuff that I will listen to in the future. Now, you must live long and prosper. With beards. Spock's beard, yes. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Spock's beard is one of the previous kind of projects that Neil Morse did. And, Neil Morse band, if you know, that's just one of Mike Portnoy's most kind of recent endeavors since he's left Dream Theater, because at this point, Mike Portnoy can't make up his mind. It's like, I'm going to be this band, that band, but it's not going to be Dream Theater. But I'll be with every other band except for Dream Theater. But anyway, yeah, no, Spock's beard is amazing. Holy crap, because it's like, live long and prosper, but you have to have a beard while you do it. Yeah, it's kind of weird that they went on to have a band called Spock's Beard. But hey, I ain't complaining, because Spock's Beard is awesome. Definitely check out Spock's Beard if you're ever here. And listen to like Neil Morse band too. Like, Neil Morse band and Spock's Beard both kind of go hand in hand, and both of them are amazing. Oh yes. Okay. Oh, geez, there's a lot of these. Few of them I do know, but some of them like Henry Cow. I love. That sounds like a cool name. Like, is there like their like logo is like a cow? Name Henry Cow. Hello, I'm Henry Cow. I don't know too much. Oh, excuse me. I got the hiccups. Yeah. So let's see. Matching Mole. Don't know that one. Arion. Okay, Arion is really good. They're kind of like, I guess you could say that they've been out for quite a while now, but damn, man, they got some good fucking shit, man. Holy fuck. Yeah, Arion. Yes, absolutely. They have some really great work. I mean, yeah, without a doubt, they got some really, really good stuff. Okay, PFM and Gorguts. Ugh, sounds awful. But I don't know those two. PFM, Gorguts, Graaff the Nice. I don't know what nice. Ormy, Green Slate. Yeah, I don't know any of those ones, so I cannot talk about those ones too much. I don't know, but I'll put those on my list of new bands that I should try listening to. They could be either newer, they could be older. Then yeah, there's one I do know, and unfortunately, this one he passed away quite a few years ago because he's still a legend. The ever so amazing former lead singer of Pink Floyd, the Syd Barrett. I think he was really only there for maybe 2 studio albums. The very first album, the very first album, where they, like, Pink Floyd was like a very psychedelic sound, it's just like psychedelic, and I got a bike, you can ride it if you like, it's got the basket, the bell, the things that make it look good. I know a mouse and he hasn't got a house, I don't know why I call him Gerald. He's getting rather old, but he's a good mouse. Yeah, that very first album, I can't remember the name of it right now. Jeez, I mean, I love Pink Floyd, and I love that album, but I just can't think of the name of it. And of course, when Saucerful of Secrets came out, that's when they kind of got, David Gilmour, and after that, Syd Barrett kind of just split off and did his own thing. But pretty much there's so many references in so many Pink Floyd songs after Syd Barrett left, what basically was a tribute to Syd Barrett. I mean, like, so many references. I mean, it's like, now they're not always clear as day, but there's been a lot of like references of tributes to Sid Barrett, and Sid Barrett was a legend, my friends. Legend. Okay, let's see. Buffer, like, the name sounds familiar. Like he's another, maybe like a drummer, one of the former drummers for King Crimson, maybe? Might be wrong about that. I'll have to look into that one later, because I don't know too much about that one. But anyway, the next one. Ooh, yes. Okay. So, on the... Which one was it? Layer number 3, and now we're down to layer number 5. These two guys went to high school together in the town that I currently live in. Yes, down in Antelope Valley High School, which is not too far from where I live. We're two buddies, Frank and Captain Beefheart. Yes, Captain Beefheart and Frank Zappa went to high school out in the town I live in. And what's really cool is the song by Frank Zappa, Village of the Sun, is actually about Sun Village, which is the outskirts of Palmdale, which is kind of the other side of town. But yeah, in the song he actually mentions about growing up out here. But yeah, I live in the same town where Captain Beefheart and Frank Zappa went to school together. I think that's pretty fucking cool. Alright, so anyway, that would be layer number 5. So... layer number 5 is complete, and now we'll get down even deeper, and oh gosh, this one's going to be very, very, very difficult. Okay, well, what is continue on this right here? Okay, I'm just going to list the rest of these layers because honestly, I don't think I've really ever heard of all the rest of these. Okay, so Igor... Guileless Gals and Fripp. I know that band, I just never listened to them. And then, let's see, Kayak. Okay. Oh gosh, I'm not even going to try to read that one. That one is just... I don't know. Night Sun. Carfog. Samia Mamas. Kus Unitopia. I don't know any of those, unfortunately. But they sound like some kind of crazy, proggy, technical wankery. Let's see. And then it comes down to layer number 7. Artzoid. Fantasy. I slaughtered that. Palas. Wait, Pala? Isn't a pala a shovel in Spanish? Oh, okay. Or is it pious? Oh, I don't know. National Health, the Emerald Dawn, La Machira de Serra. Now that sounds very Spanish, I'm not sure. Behold the Octopus. Octopus? Okay, I don't... Okay. And then layer number 8, down to the very bottom of the depths of Depthy Desider. Done. D-U-N. Not like I'm done. Like I'm done. I quit. Just throw my desk everywhere and I fucking quit. No. D-U-N. The Secret Suspects. Zop. It's like a zap, but like it's kind of like it's dyslexic, I guess. And zop. I don't know. That was probably a really bad joke. Illusionary, Merple. Ooh, that kind of reminded me of, well, you know, purple, Merple. Okay, anyway, Arcane Atlas, Progression by Failure. Sounds like I failed. I was progressing this iceberg, and I just realized, this progression of this iceberg for me has become a failure because there's a lot of these coming down at the bottom I've never, ever heard of. And then, homunculus res. Not rex, res. Homunculus res. Homunculus res. Okay, anyway, that would be basically the rest of the Iceberg. And yeah, unfortunately, there's just too many of these bands I have never heard of. I feel like I failed. I failed the test. So I'm going to say the Reddit user that came up with this Iceberg, I think, fantastic job. And definitely deserves credit that he deserves. So anyway, this would be the last bit in the bottom depths of the iceberg, and I failed most of it. Anyway, I'll be right back. So yeah, I'm wearing my hat like this now because I failed the bottom depths, last few layers of this iceberg. But it's pretty darn good. There's some big names on there, some lesser known names, and definitely names I've never really actually heard of. Some very obscure, extremely obscure bands on this list. Anyway, I am Minor Mustache. I really hope you enjoy this one. I know this one's rather long. This is probably going to be my longest uploaded Prog Talk video. So in the future, I'll try not to make my Prog Talk videos super duper long. But anyway, if you'd be so kind to hit that like and subscribe button, and yeah, hit the like, subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and have fun with it. And I will say to all you good, wonderful, sexy, gorgeous people, adios. I love y'all, and thank you for all the support thus far. Love y'all.